let's talk about what we have accomplished since Monday and what is left for the end of the week. I'll start with the top right corner, with parking being the first one.
I was not prepared. So, welcome back, Avi. I hope it went well, your time away.
Yes, it was very nice.
So, okay, great. So I pushed. I mean, there were a bunch of PRs this week with changes on the latent variables so that Tatavik can work with it. I think everything that you need is there. No, Tatavik?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything is there.
Okay, so everything is there. So then Tatavik and Subodh, I think they already started working on the downstream side of things. Yeah. Yesterday I had a good conversation with Subodh about experiment design. I realized, there's a lot of like good math going on here, and I feel like that was a part that was not that I realized was like more important, the part of experiment design than I thought it was, in terms of like the advantages of our product. Yeah, Subodh asked me to make one more change, which is to couple the decision strategy with the latent variables. So essentially, when people are replying to tasks, well, the digital agents, in order to mimic real human behavior, there's different decision strategies where some people look at just a couple of attributes. So there's different decision strategies that try to mimic that, and he wanted me to couple that with the information that we got from latent variables. Yeah, and then I have a bit more, study to do, continuing my study of, discrete trust models, trying to understand more the product. I hope the time didn't increase too much, but I'll check with Subodh after he's back.
Thank you. Let's go to Florian next.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. So I've been working to get the work that Atish did into production, into dev, so that the users can use it. So what I did last week is I got everything sorted in the back end for the international population. And then yesterday I integrated it in the front end so that the users can now use all the data that we collected. So it's essentially done. I've got it working for, so far, Spain, France, the UK, and Armenia. And then now I just need to add in all the other data that I've collected, which should be a pretty quick process, and then it should be good to go. And that's what I'll work on getting into dev this week.
And Florian, how many other countries do we have in total?
A lot. So maybe like 12, 13 others than the ones that I've put in so far.
Can you? Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say the whole database is 44 additional countries.
That I'm not sure about. I've kind of just been going one by one. I haven't exactly counted all of them so far, but it does seem to be a lot. And I think Atish added more than I've documented so far already.
Nice work, Florian. And these new, you're going through the process of adding the data, normalizing the data, so that all of the downstream flows work seamlessly without changes.
Right, because the way Atish implemented was a bit different in the back end, so I had to connect it to the front end in a different way, which works fine now. So it should all be working.
Great.
And it does. I've tested it.
Nice work, Florian.
Thank you.
And how's the code? Just out of curiosity. Sorry, Paul.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
So how's the code? That was it Like in terms of the coding, was it workable?
Sorry for which part?
So you're building on top of Atish's work, right?
Yeah. I mean, the thing was he implemented a function to like query the international database that we have in Supabase, and he added an extra call into the experiment request, which is international population, which you have to now add in for the experiment to run. And it's different than how we did it before with like the target population and the top population traits. So now additionally, we have to add in the international population and specify only if the country is specified as not the United States. So it was pretty easy to work with, actually.
Great, thank you. Let's move to Eric next.
1 second, Eric. Sorry.
Yeah,
I think this is a really powerful update, and one that previously constrained us with a company that was in a trial program. They were in Spain, but back then the only data that we had was for the capital city of Madrid. So, it's never just about, okay, well, we made this update, now we want to capitalize on it. Florian, if you can empower the sales and marketing team by actually writing down exactly your update. We target these companies. You know what I mean? These are the new ones. We've also gone deeper into these countries. So it's not just the capital city, but the entire country. Those details make a big difference. And I'd like to have us broadcast that in our newsletter and inform everyone. And we'll reach out to a real prospect that tried our platform, because now there's no excuse for them to become customers. So please empower us, Florian. You can post that on the marketing channel with those details. Let us know also the ETA when that will go public, because they're only going to view the published version, right? Production environment.
Right.
No pressure on when that happens. We just need an ETA so that we can plan against that. That's all.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll get on it. Thank you, Pablo.
All right. Hey. Hi, everyone. First, let me say thank you to Avi and to Pablo for stepping up the Goldman Sachs, taking over the lead for me. I was sick as a dog and couldn't make the meeting. So that was great. I appreciated that. Let's see. I had I'm moving Saudi Airlines is growing day by day. I finally got some feedback for so as you all know, the next meeting was for them to bring us their data and sort of have a meeting about what we're going to do with this, and then put a proposal together and move forward, and been sort of stalled because there's so many parties. So we moved a little bit. We had some movement this morning, and it turns out it's getting bigger. There's more people involved. But one of the positives of all of this is that we are going to be working with a company called Wasserman, which is one of the largest global sports marketing and entertainment companies on the planet. And so we get a chance to sort of showcase what we can do for Saudi Arabia, and Wasserman will be in the room. And so for me, that's an awesome opportunity to segue to Wasserman. And so I already did some background and done a little intel. So, so that's exciting. Like, those type of meetings are exciting, where we can get as many decision makers and do one big presentation, especially if they sit and watch what we do and see how professional we are. So I am super excited. That meeting right now is tentatively scheduled for Monday, the 2nd of June, or Tuesday, the 3rd of June. And so I'm still a little back and forth, but looks like it's going to be, maybe 10 of us on this meeting. So that's exciting. We had a Millipore meeting. Millipore, if you'll remember, is a vendor to the pharmaceutical industry. they sell their products, for the labs, and they sell to lab managers, scientists at the pharmaceutical level. And so in the meeting, they asked about when we ran an experiment, do you have lab managers within your research? And Subodh went on to explain, we don't have lab managers. But we could create surveys, get sample sizes, and again, here's the benefit of our site. We can use those sample sizes, and then we can, basically create LLMs, and it doesn't have to be the process that's traditional in regards to survey. But one of the things that we thought about, or that I came up with, and Pablo agreed, is that why aren't we mining our why aren't we mining the site, the data? So for instance, if I know what we're loaded up with, and again, I apologize for the language, within within the data, that will help me focus on those companies that come to me and say, hey, we're a consumer-facing company. We have, these type of customers. Do you guys have that information in your data? And so I'm hoping that, and Pablo, you can tell me if I am missing something, we get Subodh to mine the data, so that will help me focus on who we're targeting. Does that make sense?
Eric, are there any blockers? Are there any blockers to getting additional meetings?
Any blockers from getting additional meetings?
Yeah.
Yes, there are always blockers.
Yeah, the objective of stand up is to expose blockers where other team members, ideally not in your vertical, can help you get unblocked. What are those blockers, and what can other people do specifically to help you?
Yeah. Okay. Well, no one can really do anything. We need more marketing. We need messaging out there so that people know who we are. That would be helpful. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Hadi next.
Hello everyone, happy Wednesday. This week I was working on concept testing, picked up from what Tushar already has worked on. So I have fixed some issues, added some new features that Subodh asked, removed some steps and added new steps, fixed some UI issues.
Can you
Yeah,
be
and
Hadi? Can you be specific on what was removed and what is being added?
yes, what Tushar did was thread step and thread validation step. This was not necessary. It was a dummy code. Subodh did that the who step should stay the same as ideation page. So I removed the threads and threads validation, replaced with who step. Fixed the unnecessary API calls with while navigation, and reused components from ideation page, and fix some styling issues. The a dummy UI code for the models, remove those and reuse our existing model for public experiments, and for privacy settings, fix image displaying issues, and yeah, some UI stuff for the concept testing.
Got it.
Uh,
And the difference between concept testing and the traditional experiments is that the concept testing is 100 times faster because it's effectively an A/B test and not a multivariate test.
well, it's it's the same as ideation. Well, in terms of user experience, well, the concept testing like lets the user to uh, test the product idea before building. Like the user provide the image, the description, and ask some questions, and based on what the user provide, gets some feedback like good or bad, something. Uh, so well, as I know from user experience, is the same as ideation. It goes through the multiple steps.
I need a one-page document on concept testing, or like one paragraph, one sentence. I need to understand how concept testing is different. Either a workflow in the Miro or a ticket. There's been a lot of effort on concept testing, and I'm entirely unclear what is how is the ICP and use case different than the traditional path ICP and use case.
Um,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
I was
go.
just going to go ahead, Hadi.
No, you go ahead. I wanted to say just we can sit and talk like later.
Yeah, yeah, maybe we could discuss how to do it, Subodh. But I mean, from my perspective, at least from having done part like the back end, or at least part of it, in concept testing, users actually upload a picture of their an image of their the product that they want to test. So let's say if it's some milk product, they upload whatever branding or marketing kind of image they have, whatever they want to advertise to their users. They also upload a description of the product that they want to test. So they're bringing their own data, and I think they also upload the kind of questions that they want to have answered on that specific product. And so then we, through the platform with our agents, we answer those questions. I'm not sure if there's something more that happens down the pipeline that I'll have to check with Subodh. But essentially, they're bringing their own uh, product proposal with image description and some sentences to test. So it's kind of like more like a marketing test of whatever they want to be offering. Does that make sense,
And
Avi?
with the multiple questions that the user asks, do we run multiple experiments?
So the part that I did was just the answering the specific statements, so scoring specific statements that they ask. I'm not sure what's happening after that. That you probably need to check with Subodh.
So how so if that's the case, why do we need the platform? Why do we need the simulation? What's the difference between answering a customer's question with effectively an LLM prompt versus simulating the answer on a population?
So I think this is more targeted. So we're giving a lot more information on like different attributes and levels in the main experiment, and here they're bringing their own data to ask some questions about like how to change their marketing essentially. But it would be good to have Subodh's input here. So they're uploading an image, uploading a description of the product,
You
and
don't repeat that. I understand that. My question is, if they're bringing a handful of questions and we're just giving it to the language model to answer, why can't they just do that in ChatGPT? Why do they need us?
because we have, I think we have the whole part of like the experiment design of like the way we're asking the questions and answering the questions, but essentially we have the digital population that's answering the questions, right?
I don't know.
We're not. I mean, we
don't-
do.
We do, but it sounds like it sounds like we're not asking the digital population for each of the questions the customer is asking. It sounds like maybe for one of the questions the customer is asking, we're sending to the digital population, but then it sounds like for the other questions, it's maybe a generic prompt. Again, I don't know because I don't know who the ICP is. I don't. This whole concept testing product, there's no documentation on it. There's no. It's not assigned to a customer. I'm very confused about how this is being driven and what business case this is solving. As far as the images go, I mean, I like it. There's parts that seem valuable, but I'm a little bit confused about the energy and the value. As far as the image goes, are we using image language models, or are we converting the image into text and then running simulations on the text interpretation of the image?
Yeah, so for now I think it's converting to like base 64 format, so it's not using image language models. It's just text, yeah. Mari was working quite a lot on it with Subodh. Maybe he has something more to add.
So it is image languages. So the way that we we send the image to the LLM interpret it, and we get the concept or the text from the image.
And then and then that's an attribute, and then we run variations of the attributes of the image.
Yeah. So we get the what the image is about, its content, and then we add on top of it.
Do we have a customer for this?
I have no idea.
Somebody that I could potentially test this with, that I'm working on a case study with. They are a e-commerce company that's selling t-shirts, and well, they sell other things as well, but they have different types of styles that they're wanting to test out. So, I don't know if that would be something that would work for this as a test case.
Yeah, that'd be great. We have two textile manufacturers. We have a manufacturer of bedding in New York, and then Pablo has a manufacturer of uniforms in Nashville. Both of those use cases would also be image based, but it's not going to be image to text to image. It's going to be like legit, marketing assets.
Yeah. I made contact with someone this week as well who is a marketer who serves the retail industry, primarily in clothing. And so she's already starting to connect me with people. So that could be a potential source as well.
Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can get these efforts aligned with a customer use case, because I'm sure there's some really good work going on here. We just have to make sure that energy only provides work if it's focused.
I think originally it was for the Dairy Alliance, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, for that protein thing. Okay. Pablo, let's make sure we get Eve's eyes on this as we develop.
Yeah, that would be DMI, and yeah, we followed up with them this week. They want to meet early next month, so first week of next month.
Let's see if we can get Eve, like, privately get her eyes on this to like give us guidance, so that when we present to them we can say, hey, we were developing this for you.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I know it's on the deck that we had sent. That was like, we're working on it, but yeah, I'd love to learn more and love to put it in front. That's a great idea.
Yeah. Good, guys. Good work.
Thank you. Let's move to Atish next.
Hi. So I updated my PR. Currently there's 42 countries, all the major ones in IPUMs like Canada, Mexico, Italy, UK. Um, the only big one that's not there is Germany because the latest data is from 1987, um, which I think discussed with Sybil at some point. Uh, yeah, that's all for me.
Go to Madi next.
Okay. Hello, team. So I have been interviewing for the front end, and we finalized 3 front end engineer. One talked with Avi, and 2 will talk tomorrow. And from those, I like one of them, and the other one is junior. But let's let Avi talk with those and see how we can. There are some candidates that are in progress, like having the coding session and all those things. But I think we should take 2 or 3, and then yeah. Also, we put job ad for the DevOps, but since I don't have access to Subul's job, so he needs to shortlist, and then we'll interview with them. Yeah. Also,
Wait, Madi,
there was
sorry. The Subod the Subod ad was the DevOps folks. Is that what you said?
exactly, yeah.
Okay, got it. And are you okay with turning on Duplo Cloud and bringing Kelly back for some DevOps help?
I would love to. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that today.
Okay. I will give some data on Porter. I have been trying with Porter, and there was some issue. I was not able to run it, so I reached out to their support, and we are still like troubleshooting it. So the update with the Porter is that, and yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, whatever you and Subod need, let me know and I'll make sure you guys have it.
Yes.
Go to Mia next.
Uh, Sorry, one more thing. So so Avi, you talked with Himanshu, and he's asking for further steps and if he can get on board. Um,
Who
I
is this?
I will send
And for what
his
role?
username. His name is Himanshu, and I will send his Discord username.
Oh yeah. Did you like him?
Um, he could. So they are juniors, but like I say let's get 2 or 3, and then some 1 or 2 will not perform well, and then at least one might perform well. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah,
Not quite a glowing review.
like I tried my best. I had live coding session and different rounds, but this is what I could get. So, but
Okay.
let's see.
Is he going to create more value than he destroys, or than he costs?
Uh, we don't know yet. Let's work with him like 1 week, and then 1 week or 2 week, and then we'll know if
Okay.
he creates value. Then that's gonna be good.
Let's do this. Sarah, can you schedule an HR meeting with Madi, Tatevik, Subod, and Pablo where we go through the summer intern program and we get those offers out? Because there's a bunch of folks that are banging down the door, and like I don't want to let them all in because it's going to be a nightmare to manage them.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it's Mia's turn now.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. There's some posts scheduled for today and Friday, and one went out yesterday. Gonna continue to make more, or tomorrow and like the following week. Also working on a separate blog post that I want to finish by Friday, and need to deliver a report to Pablo from whenever we had like our pretty big boost to like see what I learned and like the boost and why that strategy might have worked to get us that many followers at a short span of time. And yeah, just gonna continue to be doing what I've been doing with posting on LinkedIn. So that's all for me.
Could we, Mia, make a bias to using the video posts to promoting video posts and like the clips and things like that? Because, and then also I'd like to make sure we get Sabod's blessing on either Sabod or Pablo, or ideally both, on the posts that are going out, because I want to make sure that we're like not promoting to our existing cohort of followers, but trying to get kind of cross-posted, reposted, or cited on other communities' pages so that we get more followers.
Yeah, all my posts get approved by Pablo, so I'm not posting anything like by myself. And all videos are up to date for right now. So do you want, I don't know if you're asking for me to like resource old clips and try to utilize those more, or new existing podcast. I know there's one other podcast that I haven't seen. I don't think it's been published yet because you haven't posted about it and I haven't seen anything about it.
Yeah, let's have a session after this. There's two more, but I just want to make sure, I guess, we get Subod's eyes on it. I want to make sure that we're providing maximal value to the community with all of our posts.
Okay.
Some social media clips as well that y'all are welcome to use or not, but I just need to connect with whoever would need to get those. So
Yeah, I can schedule a time with you, Michelle, whenever you're free, and we can. And usually I handle like all the clips to post on social media, and we can like work together.
Yeah, Michelle, I'm gonna invite you to our marketing stand-up. I think that would be really good. I know you had that 18-minute demo as well, and we can get lots of chunks of great video content. I think that's what Avi wants, is, leveraging video content as a easier pull to be able to ingest the complexity of the platform. It's a great idea. So we can work on that. So Michelle, I'm going to invite you. I want to definitely leverage the assets that you have created, and we can cross-pollinate there. So yeah.
that sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let's move to Michelle next.
Okay, so I've got quite a few interesting things going on in relation to Subconscious, just working on market research, messaging, and sales, exploring new ICPs. Excuse me. Again, I made contact with a retailer, so I'm kind of going down that route to see who I can get connected with on the retail side, and explore if that's going to be a good market. And then I'm doing a workshop tomorrow where I'm going to be talking to some entrepreneurs and I'm actually going to be like walking them through running an experiment. So that should be interesting. It's not quite the right ICP, but it's still awareness of subconscious, and there may be some ways to make some sales through that opportunity. And you guys are all welcome to attend that if you'd like. So I'll be posting the link to that on my social channel again on LinkedIn. So if you guys want to attend, you can register and check it out. It should be fun. It'll be educational, and build awareness for Subconscious as well. So I think one question that I have for y'all as far as like a blocker goes is regarding the retailing option, or, ICP. I'm curious, can the platform handle trends? So for example, like right now, in clothing, big baggy sweatshirts are in, for the younger generation, and retailers refresh their inventories like twice a year for sure, summer and winter, but they also can go up to 4 times a year when they're refreshing it. So I see a potential huge use in terms of volume for the platform. 2 to 4 times a year, they're going to be trying to refresh and get consumer insights on multiple products. So I just would love to get any feedback either now or another time on whether the platform could handle slight shifts and change in trends and preferences and things like that. I know that's maybe a difficult question, so if you guys want to, think about it and get back with me later about that, that would be great.
Let's go to Pablo next.
Okay. Michelle, maybe we can post that on the marketing and sales channel on Discord, just as a reminder, and we can follow up.
Okay.
We have a lot of the experts here on the call, so I'd like to really rely on them to answer that question, since they are way more privy to the platform than anyone else. So thank you, Michelle.
You're welcome. Sounds good.
And again, there's a live opportunity with these requests and questions. So let's prioritize answering them. Monday was Memorial Day. I got to work with our international friends that don't celebrate Memorial Day, so that was fun. I really like this recent leaning in from Sobod, Joachim, and several others, that are usually in the technical world, informing, empowering, and working with sales and marketing. And really, as a company, we've come together and kind of sharing how best to position and introduce this very complex product. And, lessons that we've learned from Goldman and all the others that we've talked to. I think that helps. A big part of sales is also continuously not just employing effort, but making sure that that effort is geared towards the spaces, the industries, the people that have the highest likelihood of conversion. So by making us smart, we're tilting the odds and probability in our favor to close. So thank you.
Pablo, could you be really precise on who those people are that are the highest probability to close, and
Yes.
what those markets are that are feeling the most pain that our problems that our platform solves? Complexity is not typically a measure of goodness.
It's the opposite of a goodness. That's what we're actually trying to do, is the opposite of that. So to answer your question, direct to consumer, B2C, FMCG, 100,000%. Okay. B2B, we have some levers to play, but it's really not our sweet spot. An example for that was even like when we were explaining SpaceX. We just really didn't have. It was a case study, and I don't think we did a great job of kind of even further explaining that we have the right respondents and how is that relevant to Goldman, et cetera. And I was also surprised because Goldman has a whole arm dedicated to B2C, but they were very private. So one thing we learned there is that industry cannot share their data, right? They're very protective of that data because of SEC, FINRA regulations. So we check that off the list. Healthcare, another one, right? HIPAA compliance, right? Pharmaceuticals, potentially even Millipore, but definitely Pfizer. Great companies, not the right sweet spot. So to answer your question, Avi, it's a great question. Direct to consumer, B2C, FMCG, consumer-based questions. And then in terms of pain points, that is associated with the function. And we are continuing to really focus on the chief marketing department function. That is our sweet spot. And we have our friend Michelle, who is a fractional chief marketing officer, helping us kind of further provide color into those pain points and resolutions against them. Yeah. And by the way, myself and Eric spent time this week, not just finalizing the onboarding, the training, and explaining the platform, but also repositioning in that direction, just to make sure, again, we tilt the odds in our favor. And so I'm really glad that he's being very focused and keen on that direction as well. We're excited for more good things to come.
I love that. Yeah, I like that's beautiful, Pablo. Thank you. I like that us as a team getting punched in the mouth with FERPA, HIPAA, COPPA regulations has not dissuaded our energy.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get better, and that's not to say again we can't do B2B. We have every intention. I think we're super close, but our sweet spot where the platform really shines. I mean, I wish we recorded that session with Workwear Outfitters. It was so magical. It was awesome. Let's get 100, as you always say. Let's get 100 of those.
That's right. Did we follow up with Matan on that guy he wanted to introduce us to in New York?
Natan?
Matan, Matan. He had an. I'll follow up afterwards.
Yeah, please. Yeah, I'd love to get in front. I may have. I don't know. I do a lot of responses. And then another big focus of mine this week, on top of this new language and this new deck, et cetera, is also, we have a lot of smaller agencies and companies that we can target. I want to really, really close several this week or in just a matter of days and provide strong incentives so that we can get case studies in the door. I want to empower us. The case studies are going to be a requirement for the enterprise. We should get a lot of quick wins to get that across and make that happen. I'm pleased to tell you we have one that's literally knocking on our door. It's Elliott. It's a design agency. We have another one that's coming also. They were in a trial program. They've extended the trial program to Monday. On Tuesday, we're meeting with them to kind of convert them to a customer. But that one looks very favorable. Had a conversation with them yesterday. I did have a question. They're not real blockers, but it will help me just to make sure there's no bugs or issues. This customer or this prospect was originally in the trial program. They experienced a lot of bugs. It was during that weird week where we had bugs with 1 dB, weights and biases. And so they couldn't run experiments, they couldn't see the results of the experiment, et cetera. So we extended it. They canceled because they weren't able to do the trial because of the bugs. And they want to re-engage and actually run experiments and do the trial again. I went on Stripe and I basically just resubscribed them. And I posted that on the engineering channel. I just want to make sure that'll reflect on their platform and that they have no constraints and they can run as many experiments as possible.
That sounds like so they signed up for the trial, they ran into a bug, and then they turned off the trial and then re-signed up for a new 2-week trial. Like I feel like that's 1% sketchy.
Yeah, just to be clear, they signed up for the trial. Okay, when they were running experiments, there were bugs, many bugs. It was a rough bug week, And by the time they started to run experiments for the trial again, that time period ran out. And so they didn't want to get charged
how many
if they
seats?
didn't. From the people that I talked to, 2 seats.
I don't know.
Not entirely sure.
Let's talk afterwards. That sounds. I want us to start saying no to people a lot more. I'm not saying that this is the case, but we'll have a talk afterwards. By the way, I think the reason that Weights and Biases was having their issues last week was because they were acquired by CoreWeave, which is this big like infrastructure manager. So like I wonder if that acquisition caused all kinds of issues, because like if you looked at the Weights and Biases status page, like their whole stack was having issues, but that's pure speculation.
Yeah, no, it was very volatile. I had to explain that to several others as well. Thank you, Madi, for educating me and enlightening me on that during that period.
Fucking faster.
Yeah.
Let's move to Sarah next.
Hello. My updates. Prepared practice questions for the 10-minute Team Z on Thursday. Yesterday I spent time with Laura, training her based on my knowledge and onboarding her. I have 6 Excel arrays that I need to complete, and one of them is like first draft and I need to review it and submit it. I have a small blocker with that, but I put the question in the engineering. And then on Friday, we worked on the deck, specifically the deck for investors. So we made, we worked on it. So maybe, I don't know what the next steps are with that. But yeah, those are my updates, things that I've worked on.
Let's go to Simon next.
Hey everyone, great to meet you all. I think I've met some of you already, but yeah, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Simon. Guess I'm a, contractor working with the company for now, building out the chat interface for Subconscious. Been chatting with Avi, Pablo, Subodh, and a bunch of others on the team about this for the last couple of weeks. So super excited to plug in and build out this awesome feature together. I guess a bit about myself. I'm based in Toronto. Pretty much grew up here, went to school at Waterloo, went to work at Meta for a few years, and then came back to Canada, worked at Hopper before going out, and I guess now I'm in the freelancing world, building with different awesome companies like Subconscious. And so that's just a quick intro. But update on my end is, we started some of the engineering work mid last week. So the initial MVP for this chat interface, it's going to be something that users can interact with over Discord directly to get actionable insights from reports that they create, in addition to the existing web portal. And so we've already finished the Discord integration. There's a bot that's ready to be installed, and then just yesterday we have a working version of this browser automation tool where you can tell the Discord bot experiment ID, and it takes screenshots of the experiment web portal, which as a next step we would feed into AI systems to spit out relevant insights. And so this workflow, I think a lot of it is prototyped by Pablo using ChatGPT, so we're now trying to productionize it. But I'll kind of pause there. First time giving an update, so let me know if I, did it in the right way or anything else I should include or exclude next time.
Simon, are there any blockers? Welcome to the team, by the way. Are there any blockers to you achieving your objectives?
No blockers. I was previously kind of blockish on the authentication, how we get that to work. But I think, Avi, you mentioning we can start with public experiments for now, and synced up with Madi and Haiti earlier today, and I think there might be a path to easily access private experiments too. So overall, just unblocked on that piece.
Yeah, we have a security by obscurity posture for prototypes.
For sure. Yeah, I think all clear there pretty much. So if we just start with public experiments, then I know, Madi, you mentioned looking into things and following up. I don't even think we need that to begin with. We'll just start with the public experiments.
So overall, there's no limitation for accessing the public and private experiments, so we should be able to access all the experiments. But there is an issue in the front end, which I'm looking into it.
Got it. I guess maybe that's a question for Avi or Pablo, or like, is it worth it for Madi to look into that, or should we just use public experiments to start?
I mean, if you can parallel process it, it would be nice to have private experiments because we are mostly enterprise facing. We are exclusively enterprise facing, so you know we get that question a lot in demos, like, how do I make this private?
Yeah, I guess another question there is, if we do allow private access, anyone with any experiment ID would then be able to chat with the results of anyone else's private experiment. So is that okay? Like, I'm assuming it's pretty hard to guess experiment IDs. So
Yeah, for now it's okay because it should be private. It's like a hashed key, so like,
right.
we should be fine. Famous last words.
Okay, that sounds good. I think in that case, no blockers really. I think we have that thread going. Should be able to share like a nice demo of things working before end of day, and excited to continue pushing on to next steps.
How does it feel, Simon? The insights coming out of the chat agent, do they feel magical or different from what's on the market, or?
Are you talking about what's on the web portal, or what we're going to be building in the chat?
No, your chat agent's interpretation of the web portal.
I see. I mean, we haven't gotten there yet. Like right now, we've extracted the images, so the next step would be piping that into the AI models to get it. So I think we'll have some of those insights, or I'll have an opinion and I can share it with everyone probably, I don't know, tomorrow, latest end of week.
Okay. And this is probably one of those cases where your agent will need to be a powerful large context window like Gemini 2.5 or something a little beefier than, 4.0.
Yeah, I think we'll probably try it out. We're using Open Router, which is like a one-stop API to access and test with all the different models, so we can plug and play, see what works.
Okay. Yeah, because the vision would be eventually for this agent to be able to ingest all of the experiments across a corporation and really, have a really good insight into the mindsets of the customers across consideration, awareness, purchase, whatever.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it would be even too hard of an addition. Maybe one easy way to do that is just export out all the images, screenshots of the experiments they ran, and try to put that all into the context and see what happens. But totally. Yeah, super cool to hopefully bring it to life end to end soon, so we can all give it a try.
Excellent, nice work, Simon. Strong first update.
Glad to hear.
Solving a big problem.
I know team's all about moving fast and trying to keep up and do the same here.
Thank you and welcome to the team. Okay, we have one new person as well. Laura, you want to give a quick intro as well?
Yeah, hi everyone, happy Wednesday. My name is Laura. I'm really excited to be joining the team and getting to know you all. I'm a rising junior at Notre Dame. Really excited to get to know more about Subconscious. I've been onboarding with Sarah to set some clear goals for my time here, especially around growing Subconscious online presence. I've started drafting LinkedIn content and receiving feedback on the first 14 post plans for this month. And I'm looking forward to refining them and learning from the process. So nice to meet everyone and excited to be here.
Welcome to the team, Laura. We are excited to have your support.
Thank you.
And Avi is next.
Actually, I have to run because I have another meeting right now. But no real updates since last week. A lot of my focus is going to be on really providing clarity and simplicity. A lot of the feedback we're getting from our customers and investors is, how are you different? We went from 6 months ago, people were like, this is not possible. A year ago, people said this is not possible. And now people say, well, there's a handful of other competitors. How are you different? And so making it clear that our causal models are different, that we're simulating actions, not just, we're not just responding to surveys, right? Anyone can respond to a survey. You can wrap a question around a language model and you have a survey simulation. That's not reliable, it's not causal, it's not investment grade. You can't compare it to humans. It's noise, it's cosmetic. And so claiming that we simulate actions and not words, we build causal models, not just descriptive models. We can, those are kind of the big capabilities. I'd like us to focus a little bit, after we're done with this sprint with the chat and the images and the latent variables, I'd like us to focus on getting plugged into human simulations. A lot of folks have been responding well to this idea of listen labs, but for quant research, right? So hey, we've designed your experiment, these are the potential results, you want us to prove it, great, pay $50,000, we'll go run the same exact experiment on humans, which should be a quite straightforward process. And then the clarity is really kind of, can we help people understand why humans make decisions? Like, that's the real pain. Like, someone who doesn't understand why a customer, a voter, a stakeholder makes a decision, that's the pain that we help solve. And how do we, in as simple and straightforward a way as possible, answer the question, why does this person make this decision? Is kind of what we provide. Is this net new capability for humanity, and that can be used for purposes of whatever, policy making, research, sociology, economics, psychology. But to start, we're going to work on consumer goods from humble beginnings. Now I need to go close $50,000 from Databricks, who wants to be our new weights and biases. I think they're really taking advantage of the weights and biases outage.
Yep, and I'll go next. So, my day is divided into two. The mornings I have coding sessions with Subot. The goal is incorporating these latent variables into analytics. So compared to yesterday, we have some working code which needs like further polishing and everything. So it's like very, very initial stages. That's that. And later during the days, I have interviews with our shiny art programming interns, and yeah, those are going, I would say, somewhat good as well. There are like two candidates I'm really like looking into. So like hopefully by like the beginning of June, like the analytics team will be like really expanded, so we can like move faster. That's on my end. Have I accidentally skipped anyone? Looks like no. Does anyone have any blockers, anything they want to share, any questions, anything that needs clarification? Okay, that's a no as well.